Hi, I'm Matt Finney.
And I'm Thomas Hunt.
And this is the Bad News Network. This week, I want to take a moment to wish a very happy birthday to a man that I have admired for over a decade. He's an actor, a producer, a coach, an entrepreneur, and he has been an inspiration to myself and countless others over the years and has been the example of a pillar of strength that everyone at Ranger Up has looked up to over the years when times were tough. In this particular episode of BNN, we would like to recognize his greatness. As I'm sure many of you have guessed already, that man is Adam Levine. He is best known across the world as the lead vocalist of Maroon 5, but he is best known to us as the reason to keep living and the glue that holds the Ranger Up community and its staff together every day. Happy birthday, Adam Levine. I'd like to say God bless you, but I don't think he could bless you any more than he already has. Also, it was Nick's birthday too, but let's not dwell on the past too much.
In less than 3 weeks, the small island of Iceland has received more than 50,000 earthquakes. Experts reported on an unprecedented amount of volcanic activity and say an eruption should be happening soon. Geophysicists say that it won't be a massive ash cloud like the 2010 eruption of... Are you kidding me? Just put it across the screen. It's not going to be like that volcano. It will be all like lava eruption. I feel like that's worse. In classic Viking fashion, one person interviewed said that they aren't scared, just tired. It was unclear if they were tired from the constant earthquakes or from the murderous raid they just conducted on the local monastery.
Upsetting news on our own land this week, as at least 8 people were killed in Atlanta in 3 separate shootings. Police say they believe one suspect to be responsible for all 3 and think he may have intended to commit more down in Florida. The long night began on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Police responded to the scene on reports of a shooting at an Asian massage spa 30 miles downtown from Atlanta. 2 were pronounced dead on the scene, 2 more died at the hospital, a 5th was injured. An hour later, 3 more were found dead at another massage spa. A final person was found dead at yet again another massage spa down the street. Security footage identified the suspect and his vehicle was seen headed south. Chase ensued and a state trooper conducted a pit maneuver, sending the suspect's SUV out of control and off the road. The suspect claimed responsibility for the spa shootings and claims that he saw the spas as a temptation he must eliminate because he's a sex addict. Georgia Sheriff's Office captain has been replaced as the spokesperson following outrage at his comments stating that the murderer had a bad day. The murders don't appear to be racially charged, but the investigation is ongoing and authorities say nothing is off the table. This also comes at a time when violence against Asians is on a disturbing rise. Videos and accounts of public assaults against Asians have been highlighted throughout the news, even prompting neighbors to volunteer to walk with complete strangers to make them feel safer. Whether or not this has any correlation with those attacks has not been determined.
In a report that should surprise absolutely no one, claims have arisen that Russia attempted to assist Donald Trump in trying to win the election last November. I bet these people love Scream 4 as much as the first one. Biden even stepped up to the plate and called Putin a killer and would pay a price for trying to undermine the election. This specific move comes after President Biden claimed that Putin will pay a price and that the Russian president is a killer. It is expected that this price will be a slew of sanctions, since sanctioning things is all the rage lately. The Russian emperor responded with a challenge. It's honestly worse than a call to single combat. He challenged President Joe Biden to a live debate, to which Biden and his handlers said, "F it, let's just launch a nuke."
Joe Biden defended his actions against the Saudi crown prince in regards to the Khashoggi murder. And by actions, I mean nothing. He did absolutely nothing. Let me catch everyone unfamiliar with the situation up to speed. In October of 2018, a U.S. journalist named Jamal Khashoggi was killed while working in Saudi Arabia for speaking out against the royals' consolidation of power by means of violence. Fast forward to February 26th of 2021, U.S. intelligence discovered that it was the Saudi crown prince himself who ordered a team of ruthless assassins to assassinate Khashoggi. The U.S. response has been to ban the visas of the individual men who butchered Khashoggi. And that's it. You don't get to go to Disneyland. This is a far cry from the rhetoric that Biden espoused during his campaign about making the Saudis pariahs. In this case, diplomatic strategy won out against justice and moral good. The administration made the judgment call, and here we are. This decision reminds me of that scene in The Watchmen. Oh, not that scene. What the f*** is wrong with you?
According to some rumor reports, Meghan Markle is reportedly in talks with the DNC to make a run for president of the United States. I sincerely hope that no one there actually entertains this idea. But expectations are low. She recently accused the entire British royal family of being racist and driving her to near suicide while she crumbled under the pressure of, well, being married, I guess. Sounds like a shoo-in for presidency. Who wouldn't want a loose cannon, possibly psychotic former TV show actor in the White House?
This week, the world lost one of boxing's greats. Marvelous Marvin Hagler died this week in his home in New Hampshire at the age of 66. There was momentary controversy about the cause of Hagler's death after former ring rival and longtime friend Tommy Hearns posted on social media that the vaccine had killed him. This was later addressed by Hagler's family, who stated that he had not died of a vaccine dose and passed peacefully in good spirits. The Brockton, Massachusetts native had been one of the most formidable middleweight champions throughout his career. He and Tommy Hearns put on the most furious opening 3 rounds of boxing in their fight, and his storied fight with Sugar Ray Leonard is one still hotly debated today. Hagler was a converted southpaw with a crowd-pleasing boxer-puncher style, monastic training camps, and no-nonsense attitude. His actual name is Marvelous Marvin Hagler, which was changed from Marvin Nathaniel Hagler after boxing announcers and reporters actively and continually snubbed him by refusing to state his ring moniker. So in classic Marvelous fashion, he had his name legally changed to that iconic name that served as a hero to many of us up-and-coming New England boxers, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Fair wind, sir.
Protesters in Myanmar have begun to defend themselves with Molotovs and slingshots against the military coup forces. Reports estimate that a little over 200 people have been killed during the protests since the beginning of February, and around 2,000 people have been arrested. Military forces have been seen firing at civilians regardless of whether or not a protest had been going on or not. Demonstrators have been finding it more difficult to organize, as the occupying military forces have placed much of the area under martial law and shut down internet access. The Pope issued a statement after the picture of a nun kneeling before the military went viral. Francis stated, "I too kneel on the streets of Myanmar and say, may violence cease." To which the military coup responded, no, wait, they didn't respond. No one gives a shit about admonishing tweets and statements.
The slog of jury selection for the Derek Chauvin case is ongoing. It's worse than a couple deciding what to eat for dinner. This week, the judge dismissed 2 jurors after news broke that the family of George Floyd would receive a $27 million settlement. The 2 dismissed had determined that they would not be able to remain unbiased after hearing of the settlement. 2 new jurors have been selected, which brings us to the total count of 9. 14 and 2 alternates are required to move forward with the trial.
A Manhattan law firm has been brought on to aid in the impeachment investigation of Governor Cuomo. The investigation will determine whether or not he sexually assaulted former aides working for him, as well as whether or not he hid the COVID data of nursing homes just to boost his image. I don't know why the second part is even on there, since he and all of his top staff literally admitted to hiding the numbers. What the is there to investigate? Joe Biden was asked his opinion on whether or not he thought that Cuomo was guilty, to which he responded saying that there needs to be an investigation, and if he is found to have done those things, he should step down. Cuomo has also stopped talking about the allegations after initially denying them outright, and is now sticking to saying that we should let the lawyers do their jobs here. I just want to point out something here. Not to pick sides and point fingers, but because I hate hypocrites of any favor. At the height of the Me Too movement, the rally cry was believe all women, and if you didn't, it was burn them at the stake. This was most noticeable during the Kavanaugh Supreme Court appointment. Since then, both Biden and Cuomo have been accused by women for the exact same allegations, and suddenly it's, well, let's not rush to judgment. Let's wait and see what the investigation comes up with. Yeah, man, let's always wait and see what the facts are instead of running someone headlong through the mob towards the guillotine. It's this type of hypocrisy that continues to erode any faith the American people have in the government and furthers the divide. That and Congress
Boston legend Dick Hoyt died this week at the age of 80. Dick has been inspiring the world for decades, running with his son Rick in the Boston Marathon and other events. Rick was born paraplegic with cerebral palsy and had asked his father to run with him in an event in 1977. The first time the pair ran in the Boston Marathon was in 1980, and they ran every year, only unable to finish the year of the Boston bombing. Dick is remembered for being an amazing father to all his children and for instilling that everyone should be looked at as equals no matter what their disabilities might be. He passed in his home in Holland, Mass. At the age of 80. And to the legendary Dick Hoyt, fair winds, sir.
A Washington man was arrested for stealing a 400-pound slide from a playground and installing it in his mobile home for his kid's bunk bed. He reportedly stole the slide by sawing it from its original structure before he repainted it for his child to use. Police eventually tracked down the slide and have since arrested the Washington man. Listen, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys right now. That father, that absolute unit of a man, sawed off a 400-pound slide from a playground and then lugged it all the way home just to put a smile on a kid's face. That is the father of the year right there. Sure, he broke some laws, some stolen property charges, but he did it out of love. And isn't that more important than, say, laws? The answer's no.
And finally, in Florida news, Collier County deputies were called to a local gas station after a car nearly smashed into one of the gas pumps and curbed itself nearby. The officers arrived to find Damasio Lopez still situated in his car. When Lopez saw the deputies, he immediately started asking them for help calling AAA because his damn car wouldn't start. The helpful deputies suggested putting the keys in the ignition might be a possible solution to starting the car. No go. Lopez stated that he didn't have the keys and began rummaging through his pockets, out of which he pulled the keys. Suspecting that Lopez could possibly be under the influence, the deputies asked to see his driver's license. No problem. Lopez dives back into his pockets and goes to work rummaging. This time he pulls out a small package labeled dank gummies, the side of which have cannabis infused in large print. When asked if he just pulled out dank gummies, Lopez replied that they were merely regular gummies in a dank package, and that possibly these were not his pants. Back he dove into his pockets once more to produce the license that the deputies had asked for. This time Lopez pulls out a package of medicated nerd ropes with 400 milligrams THC per rope printed down the side of the box. This, Lopez explained, belonged to his girlfriend who had a medical marijuana card for her cancer, and she must have put them in the pockets of the pants, which of course were not his. At that point, deputies took Lopez into custody and after searching the apparently endless depths of his pockets, discovered a bag of cocaine to complete the dank collection. He is currently facing charges of cocaine and possession of dank substances. We wish his girlfriend a speedy recovery from the cancer. And with that, I'm Matt Finney.
And I'm Thomas Hunt.
And this is the Bad News Network. Our news is at least as bad as the news you're getting already. And we've made $100 on our OnlyFans, Nick and Matt, which thank you guys for visiting. And with that first $100, we're going to donate it to a charity of our choosing. If you guys have other charities which you think we should donate to, leave them in the comments. As always, you can get a 25% discount by using code BNN when checking out at Ranger Up. Have a great weekend, guys.